Hey guys, it's Project Dave, Lance of Monster Hunter Rise. This is just like a fairly succinct guide on how I got HR 100 fairly quickly. I was HR 40 like 30 hours ago or so. And this was the back end of the grind mostly. This, what's it called? The Blue Bomber or something. It's a 6-star event quest. So the reason why you want a 6-star quest is because then the people don't have to be HR 8 to have access to it. And that makes it much more reliable as a queue. So you're waiting for RNG or whatever for people to be in the queue for an event quest. So this is a quest that rewards a Capcom crossover. It's not 7, so more people have access to it. It's very fast. The Zinogre is extremely easy, the easiest Zinogre in the game because it's tiny. So Zinogre is a pretty dangerous enemy, but most of it's relying on his hitbox. If he's tiny, his hitbox is tiny. So all of his stuff that would hit half the screen or whatever, now that's very little. And sometimes you dodge stuff accidentally. So on average, this took, I'd say, like 8 minutes each time. The queue is not always up. It's just up like 70% of the time at Japan peak hours. So that would be 10 to 12 a.m., 10 to 12 p.m. Roughly in those ranges. You can knock out like 20 of these in that time frame. That's 20 hunter ranks, approximately. When you get the higher your HR goes, the less experience, or the more experience is required to rank up, but it is not a very severe curve. So this starts out being more than a hunter rank each time, and then it's slightly less than a hunter rank each time at the end. It seems like the triple Acnosam quest, which is a 5-star quest. That's another really fast, easy quest that a decent number of people are doing. So you can do that. You can do the other event quests. I wouldn't do the Akuma quest because it's actually possible to fail it. So it is possible to fail this depending on how frequently it gets buffed. But with 4 people attacking his face, you can just prevent him from getting buffed the entire time sometimes. In this case, I got in late. Oh, right. You can pick up herbs and mushrooms in this arena. So you can do those dailies while you're fighting Zinogre. And you can do break monster parts, pick up monster parts, all that stuff at the same time. This also was like it's just a good like training dummy to attack and learn your attack pattern. So I might do this some more just to learn different weapons and test out like the new longsword, the different longsword weapon skills. I'm gonna have every Crimson Bell Strikes weapon. I might as well dick around with all of them. So looking forward to that. And should be moderately interesting. If the audio wasn't scuffed, I wouldn't talk over this whole thing, but I think I should because it is kind of scuffed. It's not terrible, just like the other video. I guess it should be the previous Monster Hunter video. I'm putting this up a little bit ahead of time. I gotta go check and see if that was private. One sec, I'll be back momentarily. I returned gloriously. It was private, so this is just a scheduling thing to set up for future days videos. We're spoken as like 80 gigs, so I had to clear up some space on the old hard drive. I still have like 130 gigs of recordings, and then however much Monster Hunter recording, quite a bit of that, but I should be able to trim that down. You can always make more content if I'm just going to be playing this game a lot. Not a problem. Dick around with some more weapons and some more customization outfits and so forth. Very, very fun game. Oh, I guess in like a mini review sense, that's another goal of this video. This was a lot more fun on the PS5 than it was on the Switch because I could play multiplayer, so Monster Hunter Rise is really good at multiplayer, just like World. Not quite as fun solo, I think the problem with Monster Hunter solo is that if you have a good build, you just beat everything in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then if you have a mediocre build or whatever, it kind of just drags on forever. So there's not really much in between there. I guess some weapons are never going to do it fast, like Lance. It's pretty tough to get a quick kill with a Lance because it doesn't really have a big pop-off skill advantage. I did sort of learn how to use the innate dodge. So your archdemon mode powers up your red gauge, and then you switch back, and then you get good dodges. This is how it would beat Valstrax if it was going to do dual blades. The super hard version of Valstrax. You get your beefy dodges, and this armor I'm using called Mizuha, that's Camelios armor with Camelios weapons, incidentally, has increased evade window, so your dodges are even better than that. So I can basically iframe through a charge, for example, which probably happens at some point in this video. And if you play perfect, like literally perfect, which in multiplayer, good luck, that's not going to happen in multiplayer, but solo, you can predict what the monster's going to do and control where he goes and so forth, so it's pretty easy to play perfect, or not perfect, but relatively perfect solo. That's why you can get such fast kills. But multiplayer, it's more unpredictable, more fun. You have to adapt to more stuff, more situations, and so forth. And I think most people play this game in multiplayer, on average, because it's a little repetitive solo. It's just like, oh, 2 minutes, free stuff, 2 minutes, free stuff, etc. And always more stuff to craft, I guess. I don't know what it would take, like what's the fastest way to get everything crafted. Including low rank stuff, because just crafting high rank stuff doesn't count. I guess the main problem there would be you have to do like mining runs and stuff to craft everything. Your incidental mining is not going to be enough for crafting everything. So that cannot be sped up very fast, so that's always going to take hours and hours. As far as the monster killing, you can speed that part up. So you tend to join like 3 or 4 minutes in, and then the fight usually lasts around 10 minutes. These are better than average rounds here. So that means it took you 6 minutes to do it because you joined late. And if everyone else in the quest is HR 765, you should be more aggressive, naturally, to try to avoid them dying. In this case, this guy's a good player. Or not just a good player, but he's high level, so his gear is better. So I had a few of these, so this is just a duo that went really quickly. Because the buddy was jacked, and I got pretty good at maintaining uptime on the boss with the quick dodge, because you can just use that as a form of mobility at some point. In addition to dodging. You can see how many hits I get just based on the sharpness gauge going down, essentially. This is probably the most in the shortest time span I've ever done. I guess quick sharpen would be alright for this weapon, but I don't think, if you're going to use the poison daggers, you pretty much have to use Mizuha. Because it's so much better than the alternatives for poison. Poison is really good for multi-target runs, because you can poison something and then go fight something else, poison that, repeat ad nauseum. So you have 3 monsters poisoned at once, or all within the same time frame. Oh yeah, he set up the trap to save him, and then he shot. Oh, the monster going blue is unreliable. Sometimes he goes blue when he has like 2 HP left. Sometimes he goes blue when he has 10-50% HP left. I don't understand why it's so different. But that's just a strange thing. I guess it's more to do with the we really like the monsters not having an HP bar, and also their HP values being random, and that's, so there's like 60% variance on monster HP in this game. So you could have a basic enemy with 1600 HP or with 4500 HP, basically. Maybe not quite that extreme, but it's definitely something like that. But I guess that's it for me talking. I guess I'll screen the rest of the video, make sure I didn't say anything overly stupid on accident, but probably not. Probably just random utterances that you can barely understand or transcribe. Yep. I guess if this is 8 minutes, we could just end on this one. That's fine. $8.99. So this one was a fun one. That was right before the 100 ding. The 100 ding was a much longer fight though. Oh, I kept talking. So the reason why I'm covering Monster Hunter so extensively is because they started putting it on Rainmaker. So that's not the main key set I use. I use terminals and Keymailer. I guess my preference is terminals, because I pretty much always get the game from terminals regardless. Keymailer, you don't have to put any effort into Keymailer, you just press a button, and then you get the key, or you don't get the key. You don't have to think about it later. Or think about writing an application, although writing a resume or a job application. That's kind of what it feels like. So Keymailer is convenient, so those are the two I like the most. But Rainmaker just started and has tons of AAA games. I mean, I guess by percentage they have a lot of AAA games. And since they just started, the more stuff I make that applies to their website, even though I didn't get this from them, I got it from the Captain Creator program. That increases my rating or whatever in their system, just the sheer number of videos or whatever. So that's virtually every game I've covered recently that applies to. But this game, I actually like it quite a lot. Not that I don't like the other games, but they haven't like gotten me addicted to playing them the same as this. And if I have fun playing a game, it covers multiple hexes in the grid of content creation. I might as well keep playing it. So it's probably going to be lots. I'm going to do Forspoken as well, but Forspoken and this, and then possibly a bunch of games in February, various other games. But this should be the main game until Resident Evil, and then Resident Evil will probably be somewhere around like 50 or 60 videos. And then possibly back to Monster Hunter after that. Sunbreak is supposed to come out at some point, so I might as well cover that more extensively. I did cover that a bit on the Switch release, but it was mostly previous content, just happened to be the Sunbreak version of the game. I guess the weapons I was using were purely from Sunbreak in that case. So it was at least somewhat titular. But thanks for listening to me ramble, guys. I hope you enjoyed extensive rambling. And I'll see you next time.